New York Knicks basketball is back, and it was a lot of fun to see the first preseason game against the Charlotte Hornets. The Knicks did pull out a win, 111 to 109, but it really does not matter what the score was. We got our first look at this brand new New York Knicks team featuring Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges. A little bit rocky to start the game when the Knicks started with their starters, and that is to be expected, right? All these guys are playing together really for the first time. It's a completely different starting lineup for the New York Knicks, and we got our first look at Karl Anthony Towns. Didn't shoot the ball all that way. I'm not worried about that at all. Karl Anthony Towns is arguably the best big man shooter in NBA history, but we got a little bit of a preview and a glimpse as to what he does and what he can do on the basketball floor. Had that nice play where he took Nick Richards off the bounce, put it on the deck, got to the rim, kissed it off the glass, and then he hit a three from about 35 feet out. This guy is an elite shooter. He's going to provide space to this basketball team, and I know that he's going to be able to knock down consistent open looks. I know he didn't do that yesterday, 1-5. It's the first preseason game. I'm not worried about that at all. I actually liked what I saw from him on the defensive end. Again, it's the preseason. I'm going to say that a couple of times. Don't want to draw any hard conclusions from this, but encouraged from what I saw on defense. I think he's going to be able to tap into a new defensive level playing under Tom Thibodeau, the second go-around, and the offensive skill. It is just on display anytime he's on the basketball court. A bigger guy than you give him credit for. I think he put on a little bit of muscle in the offseason. Overall, not that great of a game from Cat, but he gave us an inside look as to what he's going to bring to this basketball team. And Jalen Brunson, he just picked up where he left off. 12 points, 45% from the deck, 50% from three. It was good to see Jalen Brunson hit on that long ball. Kind of lost that a little bit in the playoffs last year. Hopefully that can continue this year. One thing I want to see Jalen do a little bit more, and this will come with continuity and chemistry and trust and understanding where Cat's going to be on the floor. There were just a couple times where I thought he could have kicked it out a couple of different times. Drove into the lane and got into his footwork bag, and we've seen him do that multiple times, but it's a different offense now. There's no more rim guy hanging in the dunker spot. It's a wide open floor. When you get into that lane and you want to reverse pivot, you're going to have a lot of guys open for three. He hit Cat one time. He'll hit some other people. I'm looking for Brunson to average close to 9 assists this year. I want to see that be the spot where he takes his game to another level. OG and Anunoby, look, not much to take away from him. I like the effort that he put on the glass. Defensive intensity wasn't really high in this game. People are saying that he's in the best shape of his life. And look, all that matters is if he stays healthy. I believe he's one of the biggest X factors in the NBA and brings it on both ends. And a guy that if he could stay healthy, I think will really, really help this team stack some W's and reach that first seed in the Eastern Conference. Mikal Bridges had a nice little up and under reverse layup, crashing from the corner, 2 of 5 from the field, missed his lone three. Starters didn't really play all that much, just 12 minutes for Bridges, 14 for Anunoby, 14 for Towns, 14 for Brunson, and 14 for Hart. But you got to see Bridges and Hart kind of work together in transition. Hart moved the ball ahead. He got that assist on that play to Bridges. Look, it's preseason. It's game number 1. It was just nice to see these guys go out there and hoop. The New York Knicks, though, they did get some great news coming from this preseason game. We're going to talk about that coming up in a second, but I want to hear from you in the comments section. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So when you get hit with that YouTube ad break, scroll on down while the ad plays and let me know your number 1 takeaway from preseason game number 1 for the New York Knicks. My number 1 takeaway is, and I'll lump this in from what I saw from the Minnesota Timberwolves in their first preseason game. The New York Knicks have big shoes to fill with Dante DiVincenzo. We can't talk about that lightly. Vincenzo is awesome for the Knicks next year. I love that dude. Everything he's about, everything the mindset, everything the game brings. And he's a stud. And he leaves big shoes to fill. And I think Miles McBride is going to step into those shoes, and he's going to wear them really, really well. I still believe there is an argument to be made that Miles McBride should be a part of that starting lineup. The spacing didn't feel wonky in the starting 5. Just a couple of times they stepped on toes, and that's going to happen. Probably the first time those guys, all 5 playing against another team ever happened. And a lot of people were cutting, and a lot of people were crashing, and I get that. Just a little bit not uneven on the floor spacing. Whereas if you have Miles McBride, he's going to sit out on the perimeter, and he's going to light it up from 3. 4 of 9 yesterday. Gave you great ball pressure on defense. Pickpocketed a couple of Charlotte Hornets ball handlers. Got downhill. Showed off that lefty hand again at the rim, finishing with that. That was a major spot he grew last year. And if you pair the ability for him to be a defensive stopper with the fact that he's also now a scorer. 18 shots yesterday, 9 from 3. That means 9 shots inside the arc, getting downhill, pulling up from mid-range, finishing around the rim. If you can score, you can defend, and you shoot 40% from 3, you're going to play a lot of minutes on this team. And the great news is, I don't know, and I don't want to say this in a disrespectful way, how much of a loss Donte DiVincenzo is going to feel like, because I think Miles McBride is going to give you just as much as DiVincenzo would have gave you off the bench this year. I'm super thrilled with Deuce. Value contract, and he's only getting better and better. He's done it every single game, every single year. He gets better and better. He adds more to his craft. I thought he worked well with the ball in his hands. I actually like that backcourt pairing of him and Cam Payne. They were both playing that point guard role, and then I thought they played off of each other pretty well. So I enjoyed that. But the good news is, Deuce McBride, he's going to be better than he was last year, and I think he's going to soften kind of the hard fall that DiVincenzo is going to bring to this team. I think it's going to be a major, major difference maker for this ball club. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're going to be live on the channel for the preseason game this Wednesday. So subscribe and turn the notifications on and help us reach our goal of 54,000 subscribers. The goal is to get there by tip-off of Game 1 against the Celtics. We're 118 subs away. Help a Knicks fan out. Click that big red button and get awesome Knicks coverage. An extended look for Precious Achiuwa yesterday. Ended up playing 33 minutes. He was the leading minute getter for the New York Knicks, and I liked what I saw. He banked in a 3, let 2 go. I don't know if Achiuwa's ever going to be a three-point shooter, but, man, if he could get to league average, if he can get to below league average, 33, 34%, that just adds another tool into the tool bag that he has. Man, he's an athletic player. He gives you good effort on defense. He had a block yesterday. He had 2 steals, 2 assists. I like what he did, and I think Precious is going to be a big part of this team. Another surprise for me was Landry Shamet. And I should have known this because I heard Tom Thibodeau talk about Shamet multiple times at training camp, talking about what he's going to bring to shooting, and he didn't disappoint. 4 of 8 from downtown, letting it fly, wasn't shy about it. When he had an open look, he let it go. I was proud of the way he played, and look, we shouldn't really be surprised. Throughout his career, he has been a 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40% three-point shooter at times. He's a good shooter. He's going to have a lot of space here, going to get a lot of open looks. I don't know how much he's going to play, but I do know when he is going to be on the court, teams are going to have to account for him and close out and make those tough shots contested. Cam Payne, I like the way he played as a point guard, moved the ball around, had 6 dimes. I thought he was setting the table pretty well. The outside shot just didn't fall for him yesterday. Not something I'm worried about going forward. Last year, shot the ball really well, especially in the playoffs. Had some big-time threes and big-time moments for the Sixers against the New York Knicks. I like having another guy that can run the show, set the table, get the offense organized, and just initiate offense off the bench. Cam Payne, I'm glad he's here. Jericho Sims, he looked strong. He looked springy, and he looked athletic. 10 rebounds yesterday for Jericho. I thought he played well. 3 points, 1 of 2. But I thought he looked springy, athletic, and I liked what he brought. Another really awesome thing coming out of this game was Tyler Kolek. And we know Kolek is a guy that's an assist maker. He creates open shots for other people. He pushes the pace. He takes care of the basketball. The question was, when defenses guard him, they're going to go under screens. They're going to play drop coverage. Can Tyler Kolek make them pay? He did that yesterday. 3 of 5 from downtown. The shot looked a little quicker. He looked more confident. And he looks like a guy that I think, overreaction for preseason, he may be a contributor on this roster. We went from a time where Chris Duhon, and I don't want to disrespect the other people that have been point guards for this team. We were in point guard hell there for a long, long time. Now you got Brunson, Cam Payne, and Tyler Kolek. I like the depth the Knicks have at that spot. Excited to see what Kolek does this year as a rookie. Preseason game number 1. It's in the books, man. It's in the books. We're closer and closer to the regular season. October 22nd, the Knicks will tip off against the Celtics. And I'm pumped up for it. Pumped up for the game this Wednesday as well. Reminder to subscribe to the channel. We're going to be live for that one. I think we'll get some more looks at this starting lineup. They played 14 minutes in preseason game number 1. I bet they're anywhere from 14 to 20 in game 2. And probably as you get closer to the regular season, those minutes will ramp up. I'm just ready for Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges and OG and Anunoby and Josh Hart and Miles McBride and everybody to play some more basketball, man. I'm pumped up. I think it's going to be a special year for the New York Knicks, and I want you to be a part of it. So follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter @MarshallGreen_. I'm on Instagram, same handle over there. Give me a follow, and let's go Knicks.